Hey everybody, welcome to Bearded Bigger Banter. And I would like to say happy Halloween. I know it's a day early, but happy Halloween, boys.
Happy Halloween to you fellas. I've been eating my fair share of candy, I'll tell you that. So,
And we know when you stood up, I could see that belly.
ooh, ow,
Whoa.
just-
Wow.
ouch.
Shots fired.
Yeah, that hurts a little bit.
Just got my black cat on, you know.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Well.
Yeah. Been saving this shirt for this episode. All right. Well, this is going to be our college basketball preview, with some way too early predictions, some picks, a little bit of analysis here and there. We're going to do that the second part of this episode, but we're going to start off with, I believe, everybody's favorite sport, football. So we're going to look at the NFL. We're going to look at college football, a little bit of recap from last week in the NFL, in the college football world, and then we'll look ahead to some games and give our picks for this weekend. So
we are in the midst of a lovely sports equinox at this point, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of boosts to be able to use if you're betting football, basketball, and baseball, as the Dodgers are looking to bring it home tonight, but we'll see what happens there. But lots of sports among us. We're hitting the good times of the year rather than just those dog days of summer with just straight up baseball all the time. But I've grown to really enjoy baseball and actually been wagering on it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Do you think it's because of the pitch clock? I know we've discussed that, but our game's more watchable? Would you say that? Does it change anything for you guys?
I think gambling's changed a lot for me.
Yeah, and that's fair too.
You know, because you got things to watch for.
I know as football season kind of started, we kind of let the baseball talk go by the wayside. But yeah, I agree, Trent. I think playoff baseball is very entertaining compared to the regular season. And it's just,
I would say what really makes baseball more enjoyable is the Orioles are actually good.
Yeah. But I hate both the teams in the World Series, the Dodgers and the Yankees, but this is the most it would have been, or I think is the most entertaining in terms of for teams that I'm not cheering for. They're the two most paid salary cap, or they have superstars. Everyone in their lineup is a superstar.
Top 10 baseball contracts, biggest baseball contracts are amongst these two teams.
Yeah, and
that doesn't make me like it. I'll be completely honest with you, I have watched 0 innings of the World Series.
Okay, I'd much rather watch the Dodgers and Yankees than the Dodgers and the Guardians, or the Yankees and the
disagree.
I don't.
Then I have somebody to actually cheer for.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather watch Louisiana Lafayette and Texas State. That's actually what I've been watching over the World Series.
That's fair too, but it's the World Series either way. You gotta.
Yeah. Well, hey, before we get into football stuff here, I would love to give a quick shout out here as the new official Moneyline Go partner. That's Bearded Baker Bets. That is, you can see that right along the line there on our little ticker. www.moneylinego.com, and then you can search for @BeardedBakerBet. We will be posting some subscription picks, some little write-ups and things of that sort. So we'll set all the pricing and all that stuff. I'll put it out on our X account here as we kind of move forward with things. But we are now official partners with Moneyline Go, so shout out to them. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's start with NFL here. A couple headlines and stuff over the week. Obviously, big one last night was no more Diggs in Houston for the year. Another wide receiver ACL. Last year, it seemed like it was quarterback Achilles. This year, it seems like wide receiver ACLs. So that's obviously a big dig to Houston. See what I did there? But I don't know. I mean, now they're without Nico and Diggs, at least for 1 week. So that's really going to put a lot of emphasis on a lot of other guys there. So
that kind of explains it, because I was actually a little out of the loop until this evening, because I'm looking at the line there and I'm like, what the hell is going on with the Texans being underdogs? You know, but I'm still just putting it out there. I'm on the Texans still, but I know we'll get to picks later. But
Easy.
the Jets are horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Aaron
They're
Rodgers,
sliding.
horrible right now. Sorry. 12 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. When does Aaron Rodgers do that? So, good for Devontae. I hope he freaking flounders there and just.
Would you say Patrick Mahomes is horrible?
No.
Yeah.
Because Mahomes still has that, how do I want to put it? The ability to kind of get out the pocket, make some crazy plays on the go. Rodgers is 41. His time is it's kind of like this year right now is reminding me of Brett Favre's year with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
He had a good year, the Jets.
Better year was with the Vikings.
You could kind of just see it that when they're on their way out. I mean, you could see it with Manning.
Yep. Only one I didn't see it with was Tom Brady.
Exactly. And I was going to say Tom Brady was the only one, but even though you know,
last year
they didn't do good. They had so many injuries that year.
But he also didn't look the same the last year either.
Well, I mean, it's natural that all of them aren't going to look the exact same. But in my opinion, right now, Rodgers, it looks rough.
So just to kind of stick with some quarterback stuff, because I do have a lot of highlights and stuff here to kind of talk about with some different quarterbacks. I think we can all agree that Anthony Richardson.
Bullshit.
That's a bad as a bad look, man.
The worst.
As a real bad look. You pull yourself from the game, and then you even talk about it at the press conference, like, man, I was just tired. Like, you're an NFL caliber quarterback. You are the franchise quarterback. You are in your second year and have not proven shit. And you're gonna pull yourself out of the game. It's a bad look. And I hope Flacco takes them to the promised land, throughout the rest of the year, because that was a bad look. But
I'm glad they made the decision to start Flacco this week.
So am I.
Aren't you surprised though?
No.
Like if you're the GM,
not after that.
You're the GM, you're the head coach, and your franchise just used the number 4 overall pick 2 years ago.
Yep.
To take him, and he does this, and you are literally going to sit there and say, "Yeah, we're going to start freaking Joe Flacco as our quarterback over a healthy Anthony Richardson." Right? Like, I'm just
writing's on the wall, man.
Don't get me wrong. I think we all talked about it the other week is the Colts are better with Flacco at quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm already going to go ahead and say it. I think they missed. I think they missed because he's one that I look at him and say, I mean, what did he play? 12 college games?
Yeah.
And everybody was on him for his athletic ability. 12 college games. Sounds a lot like Trey Lance, who played 8 college games. Right?
Lance.
Like you, and you know what? You have to sit there and say, okay, we missed. Yeah. Coming from lots of experience with missing on quarterbacks as a Raiders fan, I mean, this is a miss. The one that I don't think's a miss that has had something similar happen to him, I do believe that, and I know this is kind of way off topic, I do believe Bryce Young, if he gets in the right system, not that that's an insult to anybody, because I think if you got to find a system that fits you in the NFL, finds himself in the right system, I think he will have an opportunity to save his career at some point down the road here.
Be interesting to see. I do think a breath of fresh air, which I never thought I would actually use that phrase with this particular quarterback, seeing his long history of just, I guess we could say, alleged antics. Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. Breath of fresh air for the Cleveland fans, because I think that a lot of people are almost like relieved that Deshaun isn't playing, including Coach Stefanski. I'm not saying that Jameis Winston is the answer here. I'm saying I think that it's refreshing for Browns fans, because I made the comment the other night, Jameis Winston is actually hilarious, and I can't help but like laugh at the things that he says and the things that he does, because part of me is like, I don't even think he's trying it sometimes. He's just, a goofball.
Yeah.
But that pass that he made, to beat the Ravens, which was just unheard of, which kind of exposed the Ravens where they are weak is defensively right now, whether we like it or not. Ravens offense is electric. Their defense right now is what's holding them back, which, again, no, last week I think we said the Ravens head and shoulders above. They got exposed a little bit this year or this past week. But and then the other quarterback, go ahead.
2 very bad losses. Like
Yeah.
Raiders and now the Browns. But in all reality, I mean, they're still going to be there at the top, but it's very interesting with how the Steelers just keep winning games.
Yeah. And last quarterback, just to kind of mention here, is Jaden Daniels continues to surprise the hell out of me. Also surprise the hell out of the Bears secondary guy. that was another bad look. But that Hail Mary pass, man, the tip right into his hands. I saw a clip on X the other day that showed all the Bears fans cheering, and then all of a sudden it was just boop, silent. So, like just complete disbelief.
Let me ask you, if you are a head coach or GM, which situation would you rather be handling right now? Or would you rather the Tyreek Stevenson mocking the fans, not focusing up for last snap of the game? Or would you rather have the Anthony Richardson issue? Like, what would you rather deal with as a head coach, I guess, right now? If you had to pick.
Oh, if I had to pick, I would rather deal with the Stevenson situation.
Yeah.
Because that one is an easy. He was an idiot. Like
he did own up to it on X.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like, you can't do that.
No, I know. I'm saying at least he recognized that he was a dumbass for what he did.
Yeah, I would say the Richardson situation is tougher as a head coach to deal with because your front office drafted him and they put a lot of stock into him, and here you are with a quote unquote washed up quarterback that is now giving you a better chance to win football games than your supposedly future quarterback. So I think that's a tough situation because I think Steichen knows what needs to be done, and that's play Flacco. But I'm sure he's got a lot of pressure from front office and higher up people to, hey man, we got to use our first round pick. We got to use, you know what I mean? I think that's tough.
It's identical. It's identical. Not identical in the circumstances.
Deshaun Watson.
Very similar. Like you could just tell Stefanski wanted him out. Like that. Yes. Like hey, we're not better with him here. And hell, I wouldn't even doubt that they didn't bring Joe back because of that pressure of, hey, as soon as we don't start winning with Deshaun, the entire fan base is going to call for Flacco. Mm-hmm. Because I still can't believe the Browns, after what Flacco did, they let him walk. I know, Tyler, you like Jameis Winston, but if I'm picking a backup,
I'd pick Flacco over him.
Okay, I was going to say, because I would pick Flacco over Jameis Winston right now.
Yeah. I just said that Jameis Winston's a breath of fresh air because it's something different for them now.
Joe Flacco was winning his Super Bowl when I was a senior in college. That was 2013, guys. It's 2024, almost 2025, and he is still he's relevant.
Still trucking. Still on the Manning cast and everything. Well, hey, because I do know that we want to get into some college basketball at the end here. We still have some college football. Do you guys want to get into picks for some big games and stuff this week?
Absolutely.
All right.
So best bets.
Yeah, best bets.
For NFL or just college or both?
NFL for right now, because we'll talk college, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to write mine. I have them here, but
I can rattle mine off here.
Go ahead, Trent.
All right. So NFL wise, I'm gonna wager this. I'm still gonna wager this just because I think this team is better, even with the loss of the receiving core. I'm actually on a Thursday night game. I like the Texans. You can get them plus 1.5 for minus 110. I just think at this point, just take the money line plus 105. So my weekday football, that's where I'm going. Over the weekend, I like a shootout in Buffalo. I like over 49.5 for the Dolphins Bills.
Okay.
I love the Commanders. I really want to see Commanders team total because the over-under is not outrageous there. So I think you're going to be able to get pretty good value on the team total, but DraftKings has not posted that yet. But I like Commanders minus 3.5. If I could get it just a field goal, I would take that. I think this team is, as much as you hate to say it, although according to Trey with his futures bet, he thinks they're winning the Super Bowl. What?
Jen, can you just wait 1 second just to finish giving your best bets, because it is a new segment that we're having.
Bearded Best Bets.
Wow.
Thank you.
Sorry. I thought I had it lined up, but I didn't. I know.
Never too late.
So anyway, now I feel like I should restart. Texans money line over 49.5. Commanders minus 3.5 so far. Right. I like I said, according to Trey's futures bet and statement he made a couple weeks back, the Eagles, Trey, right? You said the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the Eagles this week. Probably going to end up. It's going to be a weird thing. I think the Eagles are going to kill Jacksonville, and Peterson's going to be fired for the second time in the city of Philadelphia. Just put that out there. And then I really like Packers. I know, Trey, I see him on your board right now. You have the opposite. I like Packers plus 3.5. I think this is
Trey's. You know what Trey's doing.
Yeah, negative. They're reverse jinx. But I just think
what the heck?
I think the Packers have maybe not the better offense yet, but I do believe their defense is good enough, and I think their offense is good enough to hang with the Lions. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's like me making it an official recipe pick. I don't see that happening, just because I think at one point the Lions had like 35 points, and Jared Goff hasn't even thrown 8 passes last Sunday or something like that. Like he was 8 for 8, and it was like 20. No, I'm sorry, it was like 22 yards, and he had like 2 touchdown passes. It's like, what is going on? And then I'm anxious to see. I know this is past a pick, but I'm anxious to see who that defensive edge rusher that Dan Campbell is getting all excited about, jumping up and down at the press conference. That's going to be interesting.
What?
If you haven't seen that yet.
Might be Myles Garrett.
Yeah. He seemed pretty excited.
They're getting an edge rusher?
Yeah, so they were asking him about, like, do you think with Hutchinson's injury, a lot of talk about like edge rushers on the market, some guys are becoming available and open to trades here, and he was just kind of leading the media on by showing like a little bit of like an exaggerated excitement. I don't know. Probably not good news for you, Trey.
It'll probably be Clowney.
Clowney?
Where is he even at right now?
Saints right now.
What? No.
The Saints. Or no, the Panthers. The Panthers.
I was going to say he's with the Panthers. I don't know if he'd be the guy.
That's why we don't know about him.
Yeah.
All right, Trey, you want me to rattle mine off quick and then
go ahead. Yeah.
Finish up with yours. All right. So my beard is best bets. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that little jingle there.
I love it.
All right. I got 4. I got Dolphins Bills over 49.5. I think it'll be interesting to see quarterback situation. It's I kind of feel like the Dolphins are in a very unique scenario. So I do think there's going to be some points scored. I think the Bills are pretty tough right now. It's in Buffalo. So that also does favor the Bills as well. I'm going Commanders minus 3.5 against the Giants. That line seemed very suspicious to me because I think Daniel Jones, as I tweeted out, our account tweeted out, posted out, that Daniel Jones is horrible. Just plain and simple. So I don't understand why the Commanders, who are pretty electric right now offensively, are only 3.5. And it's actually not it's minus 108. So you can get some pretty good value for that. I have Cardinals money line against the Bears. I think it comes down to the Cardinals kicker again. Dude has been with them for 4 weeks and has 3 game-winning field goals.
Chad Ryland.
Yes.
From Cedar Crest.
I think it's going to come down to kicker again. Cardinals walk off again against the Bears. And Trent, I am the complete opposite, but also kind of similar with your Eagles game. I have the Jaguars at plus 7.5.
Ooh.
And I actually think it could go the opposite direction
Hmm.
in the sense of what coach gets a little talking to after this game.
No.
So,
Tyler, I'll beer bet you on that.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, 7.5.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's go 7.5, and then if either of the firings occurs, we'll throw in a bonus beer.
God, Jacksonville, it's in Philly. Let me think about it. We'll talk at the end of the episode.
You got the hook, Tyler.
I know I do.
You do.
I know. We'll talk about it. I just hate betting on Jacksonville.
I would have to cheer against, or sorry, I would have to. You'd be making me cheer for the Eagles. Like I hate that. Like
Me too.
Yeah. All right.
I'll
probably
I'll
straight
rattle
cheer
off
for
mine.
Jacksonville.
Trey, give us your bearded.
Yeah, so I have to rate my college ones, but I only have 3 NFL ones this week. First one is, I know we discussed it. I think Steichen saves his job by making this decision if it ultimately was his sole decision by starting Flacco. So I like the Colts getting 5 points. I know it's the Vikings and they're the hottest team, such a surprise. Darnold looks like an MVP, but I think they're going to come back down to reality. It's typical Vikings. They always start out like 8-2, 6-1, whatever. I don't think what they're doing is sustainable. I think Brian Flores and that defense is very, very good. But schemes can only get you so far where teams start to figure it out. They see on tape what works, what has success. So yeah, I think the Vikings start to regress, and I think that the Colts have a little spark with Flacco coming in at quarterback. So I like 5 points there. Trent, Jordan Love probably isn't playing this week. So
if he's out, then yeah, I'd rescind that. But I think there's no doubt he plays.
I don't know. I don't think he plays. I think that they.
But they were just good with Malik Willis.
You're right. Actually, they're better technically.
Whoa! So
I'm saying he's 3-0 when they've played. So it's not like he handed over. He got handed a win this week because he had a game-winning drive. But no, I if Jordan Love doesn't play, I think the Lions just have their way with the Packers. And to be honest, even if Jordan Love does play, and he isn't 100%, and he's not able to kind of use his athleticism and extend plays and throw off his back foot or whatever, I think they're going to have a lot of trouble. I think 3.5 points. The Lions have been killing teams, and
yeah, it's the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I just don't see the Packers pulling that one off, especially with the banged up Jordan Love. Lastly, in Lambeau,
like division rival, like it's pretty crazy times that the Lions are a best bet of yours in Lambeau.
I mean, realistically, it's going to be Malik Willis. He's going to have to throw the ball. The Lions defense and Dan Campbell, they can scheme is better than anyone.
But schemes they're overrated. Didn't you just say that?
After a while, but they can change things up. The Lions adapt.
The Lions offensive coordinator, Johnson. Is it Ben Johnson?
That's right. Yeah, their offensive coordinator.
Yeah. He's the best coordinator in the NFL right now. Even more so. Okay, I won't go that far. Never mind. Go ahead.
What?
Sorry. What? You want me to say what I was going to say? I think right now he's got maybe it's the talent they have there, because I think they do have more. But right now, I would say he is better offensively than Andy Reid this year and Matt Nagy.
Yeah, the Chiefs' offense isn't anything right now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I say. It's a little bit of a stretch. I get it.
But yeah, anyway, Lions. But last pick I got is, I think this is where the Rams kind of turn their season around and become a playoff team. Kupp's healthy, Nakua's healthy, Stafford's there, and Sean McVay gets the best out of his players. I think the Seahawks are going to get exposed when Metcalf isn't there, team isn't healthy, and Geno Smith is he's I don't know. He's suffices as a quarterback, I guess, if you have a great supporting cast. But if it's just him, no, he's not a good quarterback. Like, he's no better than Jacoby Brissett, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
So I think the Rams -1.5, even though it's in Seattle. I like that bet a lot. And those are my best bets.
I like it. All right, let's jump into college football. Not going to really kind of touch on a ton of the headlines from this past week. The only things that I had down was Vanderbilt giving Texas a little bit of run for their money, which kind of surprised me. I mean, I know Vanderbilt's kind of been a little bit of a hot team, but
I called it.
Yeah. And Texas A&M scoring 31 points in the second half to stun LSU was bananas. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
And then I really think that Ohio State only struggled with Nebraska just because I think they were looking to this game.
But
So-
I mean, let's jump right into that one, because that's the biggest thing we need to talk about is Ohio State, Penn State.
That's what I had first. Yep.
But like, I mean, you're telling me that there wasn't some fishy crap going on in that game with those calls? And then one of Ohio State's best players gets ejected for targeting, and they actually appealed it, and it was overruled. So now he's eligible to play against Penn State. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I feel like, you know, the old, like, what was the saying by Jim Harbaugh? Some of us was it
Born
really,
with a silver spoon.
I thought it was something on third base or something like that, but silver spoon, third base, like that's where he started at. Like, I don't know, like it's kind of ridiculous that I think the Big Ten has something out there that they need Ohio State to be there. But in reality, the truth is maybe you don't so much. Like maybe the addition of Oregon is going to be enough this year, because you guys were both you wouldn't. I mean, luckily you didn't take that beer bet with me, because I told you they were going to hammer them, and they covered easily. But
Actually, it was you that didn't take the beer bet, Trent.
no, I did. I offered a beer bet.
No, because I was ready to go, and I said, "Wow, thank God Trent didn't take the beer bet."
Run the tape. I had it for 20.5. You guys were both 21.5. And I said, well, I want to take my line that I bet it on. But anyway, so I just thought that game was a little fishy. But here's my thing, is as much as we joke about me disliking Penn State, which I don't dislike Penn State. I want to clear that air. To me is that you are right now ranked higher than Ohio State. If you don't win this game at home with the crowd that you're about to have, this will be the record. This will be the record. There's some other external factors and people that are going to be present that will push this game over the top. If you don't win this game, I don't think you ever win a big game. You are 1-9 versus Ohio State. 1-9, James Franklin is.
So you need to
this needs to win. I think they're better without Aller. And you know what? If Aller isn't playing, I think it's his insurance policy to get beat by Ohio State at home and then say, yeah, but we didn't have our starting quarterback. Things will be different next time. No, it won't.
Dude,
no, it won't. Okay. I will go the other side here. Ryan Day, this is pretty damn important for him. He's 2-6 versus top 5 teams. So, you know what? Win the big game here, Ryan Day. Now, I hope Penn State covers 3.5, but man, I don't know, man. You're, as a Penn State person, or coming from a Penn State family, besides Tyler, everyone else cheers him on. I think you
against
just
them.
No, but
this
is I never cheer against Penn State. I've never cheered against them. I will when they play Oregon.
You are such a hater, Trent. You hate Penn State
because of the disappointment. I think there's so much disappointment.
So you're not denying that you hate them.
No, I just think I think they don't make me mad. They just disappoint me.
You're not their father. You're not their father.
Can I give a quick another stat there about Ryan Day? Ryan Day is 0-5 against teams that are 7-0 when he's playing away.
What's James Franklin against top 10 teams, Tyler? Like 0-27?
I think he's 1-12, something like that.
Either way. I mean, we could find stats that support either. That's what I'm saying. It's like it all comes down to
what's big for both of them. Like, there's no question.
I think if Penn State loses this game, we're still in the playoff if this is our only loss.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think Ohio State is if this is their second loss?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a chance too.
Okay. Well, I will before we move into college basketball. I will just quickly give the rankings for the college bracket. But.
I mean, here's the thing is, like, when you sit there and look at Penn State, this year's setup is like perfect for them, like absolutely perfect for them. So what's Trey, what would you say Penn State's biggest win was all year?
So far it's Illinois.
They beat them 21-7. Okay, Illinois. So after Ohio State, they play Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, and Maryland.
Okay.
So yeah, they're in the playoff. I mean, that schedule is one of the. I mean, don't get me wrong. Winning at Wisconsin, which once again I would say,
and at USC.
How do you pronounce his last name? Prosciutto. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he absolutely. I know social media jumped on it.
You're talking about
he's got the Trace. He's got the Trace McSorley.
You're talking Pribula, the backup.
Yeah, Probiscus. Yeah,
Parabola.
But when I sit there, Trey, I don't think if Penn State was a one-loss team and all these teams were one-loss, like Penn State would miss the playoff if it was back to 4 teams easily. Like this is like their schedule is not good.
But it's not, Trent. It's 12.
Yeah.
I know.
We're playing if fans and bucks here, or what are we
can't
doing?
look into the past. We're in the future.
What's going on here?
I just win Penn State. I'm cheering for you this week.
Yeah.
I am. Okay. I am cheering for you. Win. Just win.
Whatever.
Trey, any input, or just kind of let the game speak?
Trent likes to say that they're better. No, Trent likes to say they're better without Aller, and that's not true this year. Maybe last year I could see that because Pribula has a dual threat, and Aller couldn't run or pass last year. But this year's not. That's not the case. Like he's got 19 total touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's got a passer rating of 150 over all of his games. Like he's doing what he needs to do.
Not saying it's bad.
But you're saying, oh, they look better with Pribula. No, I disagree with that. Like
not saying it's bad.
But you said they look better with the backup in, and that's not true this year.
I do think
it's not
so.
true. It's not. That being said, yeah, like
Trey, will you admit it if he starts this week over what is it? Aller. If he starts and Penn State wins,
He's having trouble tonight.
If he starts and Penn State wins against Ohio State, you have to admit it.
No, I don't have to admit it.
You do. I'm going to force you to.
Just kidding.
If anything, that just goes to show that we're either much better than we usually are, or Ohio State's much worse than what they usually are. Like, Aller is not the reason why Penn State's been held back in years past. This is his second year as the quarterback, and he's actually been good this year. Like he's statistically shown like he's good, and as a leader on the field, off the field, he's been a great quarterback. So like Penn State's failures against good teams is not him. It's their coaching staff. It's just the program in general. So no, I don't have to admit that if one quarterback wins one game, like against a depleted Ohio State team, in my opinion, not nearly as good as what they usually are.
Depleted?
Not depleted, just not
depleted.
a normal. Trent.
I'm not gonna lie. I agree, Trey, that it's not the same Ohio State team that they've been in the past.
Just like it's not the same Michigan team. Like,
yeah,
I'm a little upset that we didn't play Michigan this year because hey, that's a game that we should and would win, and that's a name that always gives us trouble. So like, I don't know, like that kind of frustrated me. And am I glad that we don't play Oregon? Absolutely, I'm glad we don't play Oregon. Like, I don't want that game on our schedule, and no normal person would, to be honest with you.
I think it's gonna be a battle. Penn State does have to win. Ohio State does have to win. I think Penn State needs this more than Ohio State, though. That's kind of all I'll say.
I disagree with that.
I think they do.
This is a game Penn State can afford to lose, Tyler.
Right, but I think as a team, as a university, they need this more than Ohio State needs this.
Disagree. Ohio State is in more trouble with the playoff than Penn State if they lose this game.
I'm not.
Yes.
2 losses, yeah.
I think from a, I don't know, maybe it's like I said, a university standpoint, a fan standpoint, like
schedule.
There's a lot of pressure here on Penn State. Penn State needs to win this game.
No, they don't. Schedule. No, they do not, Tyler.
I'm not saying to get in the playoffs.
Then what are we talking about? Then what?
I'm saying from a morale standpoint, they need to win this game. If they lose this game, I can almost guarantee you that they drop at least one more game, no matter how weak the rest of their schedule is. Ooh. If they lose this game, they will lose at least 2 games this season.
Ooh,
I'd take that bet.
Ooh,
want to take that bet,
Tyler?
Well, in order for that bet to act, in order for it to happen, Penn State has to drop it to Ohio State. Penn State wins.
It's a conditional beer bet.
I like it. It's a condition.
I'll take it.
Now, if Penn State beats Ohio State, then it's
null and void.
Null and void.
Yeah. Nobody wins anything.
All right, deal. I'll take that.
All right. 100%.
Hey Trey. Now look who's betting against you on Penn State's downfall.
I'm not betting on their downfall.
A little weird.
Trent. I've said this to Tyler. Tyler tries to little poke the bear between us two. Tyler's just as much as a Penn State hater as you are.
You guys poke so many bears with me. I don't want to hear shit. You guys always poke the bear, so I was finally poking.
You guys both have a vendetta against Penn State that you're unwilling to come to terms with. Simple as that. Just admit it.
Mine's a recruiting thing.
Okay, and that's stupid, Tyler.
It's not stupid. It's
do you watch Penn State games in your high school varsity jacket? Like these motherfuckers.
Sure do.
They should have recruited me.
Hey. Got a letter from Pitt, so hey.
Rob Lowe, Penn State, or Rob Lowe, what is it?
Peaked in high school, Rob Lowe. That's what it was.
Jeez.
Can't mess up the joke, idiot.
Trent, you're the one that originally made that joke, so
this is inappropriate.
See, yeah, exactly. Okay. All right, let's. Listen.
I have one last thing. The reason it is more important for Ohio State than Penn State is Ohio State still has to play the Cinderella story of the Big Ten. Kurt Cigniti, Indiana, baby. Indiana is real.
They're not getting any respect.
Hey, maybe because the leading receiver for Indiana and also the 4th leading receiver in the Big Ten. Where's he from, guys?
St. Francis.
Boom. St. Francis transfer. So, shout out Red Flash. They can recruit talent.
And then lose them.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let's get to our best bets.
Hang on. 2 other things. Well, before we get into best bets, all right, I'll just make one more prediction. 2 things, 1 prediction. Watch for Florida to come out hot against Georgia, but Georgia end up winning the game. Remember, Georgia is down 2 defenders this next game due to targeting in the 4th quarter of the last game that Georgia played. So 2 of their top defenders are out, at least to start the game. So watch for Florida to start hot. I do think Georgia will come back. Just keep an eye on that. And I will say that I think that South Carolina is going to upset Texas A&M.
Upset Texas A&M. Okay.
That's not a bad bet.
A lot of hype around A&M, and I'm not all in it.
I like
So
Mike
that's
Elko.
two things. Yep. All right. So hold on. What did we say? We're now. Okay. Hold on. We have to give. Oh, college football.
Bearded Best Bets.
Ooh,
Hey, you got good timing, Tyler.
I like
That was
it.
good.
Thanks. Hey.
I also
Let
like
me-
when it comes back to us. It's so new that we're all like this.
Just staring.
We're
Whoa, was that-
staring like.
Was that cartoon money?
I'm going to lead us off.
All
All
right,
right,
Jake,
got us.
go ahead.
So first, I got Tyler. We talked about it. Vandy, given God, who was it last week? They gave a game to. Think about it.
Texas.
Yes, yeah, for a little bit. I mean, it wasn't like a close game or anything, but they didn't embarrass themselves. Which
Didn't it end by a touchdown?
I mean,
It was a touchdown difference.
Yeah,
That's a
but
close game. Like, what are
yeah,
you talking about?
but I don't know. It wasn't like I'm watching it. Texas was always going to win that game. And did you not think that?
I mean, who wouldn't? They gave me
I
the old
didn't-
Vandy job.
Yeah. Either way, Vanderbilt getting 7 points. Yeah, that's weird.
That's good.
And over the
The
pants.
old, the old Vandy job.
Yeah.
All right, give us your bet.
OTPB.
So they're
Go ahead.
at Auburn. I know Auburn just beat Kentucky, but 7 points in that game I think is a lot. So I'm going to take Vandy plus 7.
Okay.
Tyler, another team that I know you like a lot, but getting 13.5 points, I believe against
Iowa State. Iowa State.
Yes, who's playing well, but 13.5 and inter-conference game, kind of a rival and a kind of a big game for Texas Tech. Both it's a big game in general, but 13.5 points, I love that, especially with the hook on 13. Trent, kind of one of your another team here.
Trey, you taking Tech plus 13.5?
Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
I'm on it too.
not a good pick.
Wow.
Just kidding. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah. Next game, I'm taking the Blue Devils of Duke, getting over 3 touchdowns worth of points against Miami. I know it's in Miami.
Oof.
Miami's gotten away with some, like, I would say they got bailed out in 2 games this year against teams that I think are of lesser competition of Duke, maybe similar competition. So I like the chances with 21.5 points. Last bet is UCF coming off a tough loss to BYU, which they were favored, which was a fishy bet that didn't live up to its fishy line.
Yeah.
But I think UCF bounces back this week, and they cover 6.5 points. That is against man. I'll get the stat guys on it.
Who's that? I'm sorry, what'd you say?
UCF. They play Arizona, who just got smacked by West Virginia at home. So Arizona's traveling to UCF. UCF is coming off a tough loss. BYU, I think they want to make a statement. So
It did get smacked.
who?
Arizona.
Yeah, that was
That was
good.
your
We
bet.
won that.
That was your
our recipe.
that was your bet last week. That was nice. It was
Yeah.
not sweaty the whole game. I like that.
I
like when the dog pick can just take the lead the whole game.
Yeah, when they're up by like 17 and you got 8 points of buffer or whatever, it's like, come on.
Yep. Trent, you want to give your college bets quick?
Yeah. I'd like to start with my favorite pick. And I actually think I'm going to get a lot of hate on this from, I think, specifically Trey. I like Virginia Tech -4 against Syracuse. I think Virginia Tech is a team that has gotten a lot better as the year went on. And their losses are to some, now as we know, formidable opponents. 2 of them, one of them being from Vandy, who is obviously not that underrated. They're hanging with some big name teams. Barely lost them. They barely lost on a controversial play to Miami. Now I'd probably say their worst loss is to Rutgers, but Virginia Tech -4 against Syracuse, I really like.
So
I've actually been betting them quite often over the past couple of weeks, and they have been winning straight up and in my parlays for me, which has been good.
Why would I give you shit for that?
I don't know. I feel like you kind of like the Syracuse. Did you pick Syracuse
I
last
made
week?
one bet on Syracuse and they got blown out.
They got
Okay.
crushed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kyle
wasn't
McCord,
bringing- I
Kyle
wasn't
McCord
bringing
threw
it up
6
for that.
interceptions. 3 of them were pick sixes. So
that's right. Oh my God, I forgot that was the game.
yeah,
Anyway,
I'm gonna hate on you for picking against Syracuse.
sorry for bringing that up. I actually
Yeah.
wasn't trying. Obviously, easy one here. Army minus 22.5. Don't be afraid of the big number. They're coming off a bye. They are that much better than Air Force, and Air Force is that bad. I know it's a rivalry game, right? We always say, "Oh, beware armed forces playing each other." I'm telling you, Army murders them. Arkansas +7 at home versus Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is a fraud. I think Jackson Dart is a fraud.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss is just a big old fraud. So I think playing at Arkansas for Arkansas to potentially just continue to spoil these big name teams. I mean, I think some people had Ole Miss in their playoff on this podcast.
Or national champion with Jackson Dart as a Heisman. So there was that guy too.
Ole Miss was your national champion.
Pretty positive. I'll go back and look. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Whoa, that doesn't make it worse. Anyway.
Okay, Missouri.
Whoa. Hold on. Who is my national champion?
I don't care. Missouri, you picked as a champion game. They
Ducks fly together.
They suck. They lost one of my 7-leg parlays last week.
That's the only reason you're so sour. Anyway,
wait, what was my pick?
Love Navy. You had Georgia. Remember, you were chalky.
I think I had Georgia and LSU, didn't I?
Georgia, Alabama. You had Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah, you did.
But LSU was also in there.
Okay.
I'm
still my best. Hold on, Todd. Best bets. Cha-ching. Come on now. All right. Navy -11. And then this one, this team is I kind of love their story right now. SMU. I like what SMU's doing, man. Football wise, I think they were a great addition for the ACC. I think they're going to end up being, in the top 3 in the ACC, especially if they beat Pitt. Pitt versus SMU. It's at SMU. I believe it's the number 21 or 22 ranked team versus number 17 team.
Mm-hmm.
So I like SMU, and I think SMU is going to put up tons of points. It's going to be a statement game versus Pitt.
Interesting.
20 versus 18.
Trent, you and I are opposite on some of these.
Good.
It's all right though.
It's all right.
So I'm gonna rattle mine off here. I got, I believe, a Friday game. I got San Diego State +23.5 against Boise State. Not because I think that San Diego State is going to be able to hang with them. I just think that Boise State will kind of get complacent and kind of back off a little bit, give San Diego State an opportunity to come back a little bit. I have Ole Miss, Arkansas. I'm taking the over 53.5 in that game with points. I got Air Force Army. I'm taking over 41.5. So I guess really kind of Trent does fall on the line with your take the Army points.
I'm sorry.
What?
I watched that World Series game. This umpire just got lit up in the mask by
Did Juan Soto get a hit yet?
Who's up to bat right now.
It's ridiculous. You better hit a home run.
He needs a hit.
All right. I got Illinois +3 against Minnesota. I got Indiana -7.5 against Michigan State. I got Trey. I'm on the Texas Tech +13.5 against Iowa State as well.
Yeah, you would be.
I have over 52 in Florida, Georgia. Again, I think Florida puts up a lot of points. Georgia comes back in the second half, puts up even more points. I got over 44 in the A&M South Carolina game, over 45.5 in the Kentucky-Tennessee game. And Trent, I am on Pitt +7.5 against SMU. I like the hook. So those are my 10 picks in college football.
10 picks.
I have Indiana. I believe it's -6.5 this week too. So that's another. I think I left that out. Todd, I saw you have them for 7.5. So
yeah, if you have them 6.5, that's great.
They Soto hit a double, guys.
Does that give us our win?
No, he needs the score.
Oh God.
I will say this: I hit a 5-leg parlay and I hit a 7-leg parlay. I know Trent, you said you've been hitting parlays, college football too. I really love this format of betting the 12 o'clock slot, betting the 3 o'clock slot, betting the 7 o'clock slot, and then I bet the 9 o'clock slot because I hit 2 weeks ago. I hit the 3 o'clock slot with a 7-leg. Last week I hit the 7 o'clock with a 7-leg and a 9 o'clock slot with a 5-leg.
Can you clarify? So you make a parlay for every slot?
Yep.
Wow.
And listen, and I don't go more than 7.
Yes. So it scored.
Yeah.
We got it.
Good. It's because I called you out.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, but so Trent, I don't go more than 7 games though, and I usually make them different games than I'm also betting individually. So I try to, and I take a ton of alternate lines with that stuff because you can get plus 1,300 on a 7-leg parlay and make decent change on it, and literally take some pretty severe alternates.
7-leggers. That's
impressive. I got a little risky with my fist and a finger teaser the other day. I lost by the finger.
Well, it calls it that. The weirdest thing. All right. Whatever. Anything else? Football? Or are we jumping into college basketball? I know it's moving along here.
I would call it jumping in. We're
just a little sample because here's the deal. Yeah. Everything tips off this coming Monday. If it officially starts this coming Monday, like I can't, look, March Madness, Bearded Baker shirt tonight for that occasion.
Sir. There we go.
So
we'll say this is our preview though. So this is our preview of the Power 5. We'll talk a couple teams here real quick and just kind of get into some, teams that we like, maybe some smaller teams that we bet on in the past. Just looking at that.
We'll clarify. We are considering there to be a Power 5 still in college basketball because we do consider the Big East to be a power conference. So Pac-12 gone. Pac-12 gone. Big East just stays in there because if you recall, last year we kind of had to say Power 6,
Mm-hmm.
Just as good as
that's right. That's right. We did say that.
Yeah.
All right. Are we starting with the official spokesman of the ACC? Are we starting with that conference and who your winner is?
Yeah. I mean, or do we save best for last, or do we? I mean,
no. Let's jump into it, man.
Publicity is good publicity on my end. I'm already starting to hit my quota on ACC sponsorship. So, let's start us off here. I am going to go with the team that I favor, I cheer for. I do believe that there will be times during the season where they're going to say, "Oh, can't do it. They're too young." Blah blah blah. But I actually think John Shire did the work to put a lineup and support players around a centerpiece like Cooper Flag, shooters, rim protectors, and you got a decent amount of ball handlers. And to be quite honest with you, as young as they might say Duke is, they actually have more age than they usually do. With some of the incoming transfers, you got a 5th-year guy who's made deep runs into the Final Fours with Gillis out of Purdue. Was actually the 6th man of the year. I do believe, it's Malbake. I got to get his pronunciation down. But the 7'2" guy out of Africa, who's an absolute, he's got development. I think he's only going to stay 1 year just because of his upside. But he is a monster in terms of length in the paint. So you need that. So that way guards can be more aggressive on the perimeter. So you have some help behind you. So I'm going Duke to take the ACC.
Okay. I am going with my team. I'm going Tar Heels. I will say this though, Trent. I think Duke's tough as hell this year, and I agree with you. Shire is getting a lot of recruits, a lot of good recruits, a lot of recruits early. So Duke's gonna be tough, man. But I'm going with the Tar Heels. I can't pick anybody else in the ACC besides them. I would never do that. Just as Trent, I'm sure you would never pick anybody else besides Duke. But I did see there was a college basketball. It was a commercial for Life Alert, and RJ Davis was featured in it, though.
I was. You know what? I'm glad you did it. That was good. That was a good one.
Thanks.
This is new
All right.
NIL money.
New NIL is Life Alert.
I wasn't sure. I know Baycott had some Netflix specials. I wasn't sure if RJ Davis was going to be on the Golden Girls or something.
Who knows, man? Trey, who you got in the ACC?
ACC, I'm going Duke as well. Cooper Flagg, obviously the incoming freshman that looks dangerous as hell. He lit up an NBA summer league or Olympic practice, I think it was. And when a freshman for Duke is doing that, I think that's pretty impressive. They did lose Roach, McCain, and Filipowski to the draft, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Roach is at Baylor.
Okay, but the other thing that I just want to note, like I said, I'm picking Duke, but something that was interesting to me, I think they had 4 or 5 players transfer in conference to other ACC schools. Just odd to me. I don't know why 4 or 5 people. Like one was Virginia, one was Virginia Tech. I think there was another one to like Georgia Tech or something like that. So I don't know. It's just odd to me, but I think Cooper Flagg. I think they're returning. Who's the point guard that's returning?
Proctor.
Proctor's returning. Yeah. So
Caleb Foster.
I think it's going to be a pretty competitive matchup between North Carolina and Duke this year, but I think Cooper Flagg is going to be the X factor.
Okay. We'll jump to Big Ten.
Yeah. Let me start out on Big Ten.
All right.
I'm kind of going. It's almost like deja vu here, but I'm going Purdue. I think the story's going to be, they lost Edey. They lost like this guy. And granted, he brought a ton of free points in terms of free throws. Don't get me wrong. But Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer are back. They are 2 of the highest 3-point percentages in the league. And I don't think that stops this year. I know that they don't necessarily have Edey to draw people into the lane, but they do have, I think his name's Caleb First, or I'm not sure, but kind of was like the second fiddle to Edey. Got phased out once they realized what they had with their enormous center that gets every call in the game. But I think they're going to kind of continue the type of offense they had last year with Painter and the roster they have. So I think just kind of building off of that. Granted, it's not going to be as good, but you got 2 guards now, which guards I think are hard to come by in college basketball, consistent guards. So they have experience. They know how to win. I think they're going to make that first, Caleb First, he's 6'10". I think they're going to make him better. So I just like Purdue kind of continuing what they had going last year into this year. So.
Okay. Trent, who you got in Big Ten?
Oh, Big Ten's always a tough. I feel like they just they beat the heck out of each other. What's that?
I said I agree.
Yeah, they do. They just beat the heck out of each other, and I always seem to I get some of the teams wrong way too early on. So this one's going to be a little bit of a surprise, I think, because in terms of, I believe, preseason rankings, I don't even know if they're really up there.
Then preseason rankings are hard to find right now.
No, I think I know who Trey's going to say, who I'm going to address as my sleeper team. They're actually not even ranked. They're not ranked right now in the top 25, according to Ken Palm rankings. I'm going to say the Indiana Hoosiers are going to be the team that is going to be.
They're ranked.
Are they ranked?
They're ranked 14th or 17th.
I'm sorry if I misled.
They're ranked 14th.
Are they?
Indiana, yeah.
I was looking at. Okay, so then maybe I feel a little bit better about it. But I'm looking at it here. I know. I think what you'll see is like Purdue. People underestimate how freaking good Zach Edey was. Zach Edey was an absolute college basketball stud. Two-time National Player of the Year. Like, I think this will be the year that there's going to be other Big Ten teams that have been waiting for that guy to clear out of the lane and not get all their big guys in foul trouble because, God, that got called like
So
nothing.
that's the thing. Was he that good, or did they just get all the calls? Like,
I think both. So that's why I think that's going to go away. The one name or two names that I'll say that really stand out to me is Mbako, I think it was. Mackenzie Mbakbo. I'm struggling with names. I'm sorry.
I'll say try one more time there.
He initially committed to Duke back in the day, or 2 years ago, last year, and then decommitted, which kind of pissed me off. But he's going to be a very good player. And then I think also with the addition of Umar Ballo out of Arizona, I think that's a huge pickup for them. They have Miles Rice from Washington State that transferred in, and Kanon Carlisle from Stanford, who's averaged about 11.5 points per game last year. So they've got some good transfers coming in, and I think they return some good talent too. And who knows? I'm not usually a big fan of this coach, but I do think Mike Woodson he knows ball. I'll just say that.
Where is he? Like, I recognized him. I can't think of the school where he was from.
Who's that?
Woodson.
He was actually NBA. He coached the Knicks. Coached all over the NBA, actually.
Okay, yeah. That's exactly why.
Yeah. Always has a nice shaved head, very clean goatee.
Yep. No, yeah, I know exactly. That's what I'm saying. I was looking at him like, where is he from? That makes sense now. So I'll keep it short and sweet here with Big Ten. I'm also in Indiana. I thought I was going to be kind of the odd guy out, be like, oh, look at Tyler picking some of these teams. But I had Illinois down, did a little bit more research. I think Indiana has a good chance this year to kind of make it back to where Hoosier basketball usually expects itself to be. I guess would be the best way to say that. So, yep, Indiana. Two of us on Indiana.
Hey, just want to add one thing. The guy that will be, considered like, hey, should he be number one? Should he be number two in the upcoming draft with Cooper Flagg is Rutgers. Rutgers have two top 5 ESPN 100 guys in, what is it, Eris Bailey and Dylan Harper.
Yes. So Trent, that's one of the teams I thought you were going to mention because Rutgers, they have a huge recruiting class. Actually, second, I think, behind Duke, which is weird. But the other team that to keep an eye on, and we mentioned them last year, and Tyler, I know you like following big name players that go to schools that were impactful last year that went to big names, and I know you'll bring one up later, but one that we talked about last year.
Do not steal my thunder with that.
One that I talked about that went to a Big Ten school this year and followed his coach is Washington University, who is a new Big Ten school. Danny Sprinkle is now their coach, and Great Osobor from Utah State followed him there. Who was the very versatile big man who could shoot and slash, and he's tall as hell. And
I remember him because I gambled at Utah State quite a bit.
Yeah, so he followed him there, and that's a school that I'm looking at the Bible of college basketball trend. You brought up Ken Pom, but as you guys know, I'm a huge blue ribbon guy. I showed it to Tyler last night, gave him a little preview of it. Rutgers is projected third to last to finish in the Big Ten, which blew my mind when I was looking at their roster and their recruiting class and everything. But Big Ten's going to be fun this year to watch. That's what I think.
Can I just throw out why? It's exactly why when you sit there and look at Duke is because of it's very weird in college basketball now. It is no longer like where you see Kentucky and Duke being preseason number ones, because those are the schools that are getting like the top high school recruits there. Everything is about transfer portal now, which I agree it is. It seems to me like the older teams are going to do better. So, Trey, I think that is why, because they don't think a high school freshman.
Look up. Okay, so Washington, who has nobody on their roster, has Great Osobor and Danny Sprinkle. They're projected to finish 7th in the Big Ten, ahead of Rutgers.
Yeah, we'll see. You know what we say with college basketball? Cream rises to the crop top.
Crop
That's
top
right.
for sure.
All right. Let's move SEC.
Sure.
SEC.
Ooh. Talk about loaded, boys.
They have one team in the top 10 now.
Yeah, but Tyler, top 25, AP top 25, they have 9 teams ranked.
I know. I'm
The
saying
most.
top 10
It's
though.
the
They have
most.
one.
It is.
I'll start real quick because I'll keep it short and sweet. I think Alabama's gonna be tough, as they have been the last couple of years. There is a lot of competition. You go into teams like Tennessee, who's always a little bit tough. You just can't win the big one there. But now, I mean, you got Texas is in the SEC now. So there's some definitely interesting, with the moves of some of these schools, definitely makes it interesting too, not just in football, but in basketball too. But I'm going Alabama with my preseason pick for the SEC. I know it's kind of chalky, but call it what you want. That's what my pick is.
Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, Tyler, I'm with you. I also picked Alabama. Sears coming back. I think he's going to be the difference maker for the Crimson Tide. I also like their coach, Muschamp. Is it? Yeah, I think it's Muschamp, right?
No, it's Nate Oates.
Oh, yeah. Muschamp's Arkansas. Sorry.
No, he's not at Arkansas. He's at
No,
USC.
wait. What is he a football coach?
No, Muschamp is at USC. He left Arkansas. Come on,
there's
Trey.
a football coach named Muschamp too that coached Florida.
Yeah,
I think that's what I was thinking of.
Way back in the day.
Nate, yeah, I like their coach. I like Mark Sears. The SEC to me, like Tyler said, honestly, it could be any of the top. They have Texas A&M in the top 15. They have Tennessee in the top 15. Who else they got? There's so many teams. Auburn is right after Tennessee. So Florida, Kentucky, there's 9 of them in the top 25, AP top 25. Yep. So
9.
To me, I'm just going to go with the team that's the most established, the most senior guard, and that's Alabama and Mark Sears. So, and Muschamp.
Were you kidding, right?
There, yeah. At the very end, yeah.
But you did it again, you dummy.
No, I was kidding.
Oh, man. No, I mean, I think we're all in agreement here. Alabama, you got Grant Nelson back. You got Sears back, which
that's
the battle of Sears, RJ Davis was at Elite 8 last year. I think it was Sweet 16, wasn't it? That battle between Alabama and UNC last year was so good. What a back and forth game. The fact that Sears is back. I know, Ty, you'd rather that end a little bit better. But I'm also going to bring a name that they got in that honestly was a team last year and a very unique looking and entertaining guy to watch play basketball. But this was Chris Youngblood from South Florida. He had the bleach blonde, real tall, lanky white guy. Yeah. He was like a stretch 4 or 5, 15 points a game. That's what he averaged. He is transferred to Alabama. What a great addition. Because he can shoot the 3. He can defend in the post. I thought that was great. He can switch on guards. Great pickup by Nate Oates there. The team that I'm going to tell you to keep an eye on, who I think will be tough. I think they're going to be tough. And damn it, we don't like their head coach because he stood up Tyler and at Applebee's. But Texas A&M got Wade Taylor back, Henry Coleman back. So I think Texas A&M they're going to be a tough matchup for a lot of teams down there in the SEC.
Yeah. They're not too way down on the riblets, right, Tyler?
Yeah. Or just how about the crispy shrimp?
Well, you love the riblets.
No, eating good in the neighborhood though. That's for sure. Listen, Applebee's, if you want to sponsor and you want me to appear in one of your commercials, I would be more than happy to. And I will eat a boatload of your crispy shrimp.
Riblets.
What if they make you go by the name Tyler McRiblet?
That's fine. You guys called me that one other time.
I'm not really
before.
sure why I just included McDonald's in that, but anyway, let's move on.
I was to say, I feel like you just
Easy.
combined.
Easy there, Muschamp. There we go.
Okay.
What do we got next?
Big 12?
Let's go Big 12 here. Do you want me to start or did
I'll
I
start.
just start?
I'll start.
Easy. If Joey Brackets is listening, please calm down. All right, calm down. If we're talking Big 12 now.
Should I go big? Ty, you want to start or can I start or what are we doing here?
Go ahead.
Okay, let me go. This one of the reasons why I said I feel
Trey.
like yeah.
Trey, you can go.
Thanks, Ty. I appreciate it. One of the reasons why I said I feel like it's deja vu is I'm picking a lot of the same teams that had success last year. Granted, this team did not, even though I picked them last year. So I'm going to go with Kansas again in the Big 12. They got 3 returning starters. Okay, you guys can all give the thumbs down, but I think this year is the year that Kansas lives up to what I thought they would have lived up to last year. So
They just won a national championship 2 years ago.
okay, Hunter Dickinson back again.
Who
DeJuan Harris
is
Jr.
older than RJ Davis and
DeJuan Harris Jr.
Baycott.
Yeah, okay, so great. He's a beast in the paint that is going to big man every little boy that tries to get in the post with them. 2, DeJuan Harris Jr. is a point guard, a game manager, facilitator that is also returning. That's huge for them. So a point guard that is experienced. Yeah, but in basketball, they're good. Last guy, KJ Adams, who kind of filled in when I think Dickinson got hurt for a little bit last year, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, got him back. Jesus.
So he's back as well, too. But I think the big difference maker is the guy they got from South Dakota State, the player of the year for their conference 2 years in a row. That's Zeke Mayo. He's a transfer guy. He's a senior this year. He's a very good scorer, very athletic, and them adding him to that roster is pretty scary. So I'm going Kansas. I think this is the year they kind of run away with the Big 12.
Ooh.
I'll go, Trent, if you don't mind.
Go
ahead. So I'm going to kind of switch it up here. I know we talked about Buzz Williams standing me up a lot, but hey, if this guy, probably give this guy a couple shout outs because I actually really like this guy as a head coach. TJ Otzelberger. I'm going with Iowa State.
I just want to say his name. That's
household name there. Otzelberger.
Otzelberger.
I gotta say they do have the way to say it on their website, so that helped me out a lot. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going with the Ohio State too. Well, it's an audio too, so you can actually play it. It's cool. But I'm going Iowa State, the Cyclones. I think Brock Purdy's Cyclones take the Big 12 this year. So, yep, calling them Purdy Cyclones.
Oh,
but no, I honestly though, like looking at some of the stuff with their coaches, I mean, it's his 4th season. He's had them in, I believe it was 2 Sweet 16s in the last 4 seasons. So I think they said as the second coach in the program to actually have that occur within the first 3 years. So, but I really like him as a coach. I think he's a fiery dude, but I think players like playing for him. So he'll have Iowa State Cyclones playing some good basketball. Trent?
All right. So it looks like we're all on different teams here, guys. This is good. This is good. I'm actually probably going to be maybe a little bit surprising to most of you. I'm taking the Baylor Bears. I think once again they are returning a lot of their core with Langston Love and Jaden Nunn, and I guess that's their backcourt is the guards, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they had a tremendous addition of experience with Jeremy Roach. Yes, I'm biased, and yes, it's going to suck to see him in another jersey. But the other one that I really like, because I think this guy is a stud, and he was an ACC player as well. Norchad O'Meara from Miami has transferred to Baylor as well. So, and then in terms of young talent, they also have probably one of the most sought after recruits, and that is VJ Edgecombe. He was the number 3.
Careful with that name.
That's a,
Whoa.
what's
Jesus.
that? What's it called? Like, what's jumbo shrimp called? That's like a
Oxymoron.
Oxymoron?
that's an oxymoron of a last name. Edgecombe.
Okay, guys. Jeez.
Sorry.
But anyway.
We got to add VJ to the beginning of it, too.
VJ Edgecombe is his name.
That's what I just said. How can he? I was like, well, you got to be careful with that one.
His first name is VJ.
No, V, like in like violin.
All right.
Yeah, that's
So-
awesome.
Anyway, they do lose. They do lose RJ Ray J Dennis, which is a huge loss. He was kind of stability in their program, and I think it was Achua as well. But I think Achua ended up getting hurt for the majority of the year, anyway. So I believe Baylor. I think Baylor is going to take. I think Kansas is, Trey, like you said, the absolutely most talented on paper.
Best coached.
I disagree with that.
Just thinking, ouch, well, you hit me with your Edgecombe.
I can't believe that's that guy's name.
All right. So, anything else? Any other
Sorry.
conferences we got left?
Hold on, real quick.
Big
so,
East.
yeah, Big 12. I got that. I got ACC. SEC, you guys both had Alabama too, correct?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Trey, who'd you have in the Big 10? I'm just trying to keep track.
I had, oh my gosh. I had Purdue.
Purdue. That's right. All right. So, yeah, we have, I think there was a couple other, Trent, that you had mentioned too that we wanted to talk about.
Well, there's one more.
We got ACC, Big 10, Big
East.
12, SEC, Big East, and then there was two other ones that we did want to kind of just quickly mention. So, let's go Big East. Trent, you want to start with Big East?
Yeah. I think everybody in the world is going to be taking probably the two-time. I'm not. I'm going Creighton, guys.
Me too.
I'm going Creighton. I really like the return. I think this is the guy in the conference that should be player of the year by the end of it, and that's Ryan Kalkbrenner. I think he's going to be the best. And then you got that little tiny Stephen Ashworth, who just chucks up threes and can go on streaks and making everything.
Yeah, it's
But-
that little tiny like that.
Dude,
He's
these,
a little-
these names that you're just pulling out, like just like one after these. I think you just said Cockburner and Asbury.
Kalkbrenner.
Kalkbrenner and Ashworth. Okay, and then here's the last one. This is why I'm also convinced, because once I saw that they got this guy in this year, is Pop Isaacs.
Like, did
I'm
you
not-
just
I'm
like
not
come
being
up with a whole
funny.
bunch of guys' names that you just were like, hey, let's just say these
No,
things?
but like those are names to me that stand out. Like the
No,
fact
I know,
that
it's
they
just-
have him, the fact that they got that guy in. That's a 15 in the Big 12. Pop Isaacs averaged 15 and a half points per game. Like that's a great addition to replace Alexander, as well as I can't think of the lefty's name that got drafted by the Celtics, who wore 55. But like that's a great.
It's Trey Alexander.
No, that's Trey Alexander wore 20.
Shireman.
That's it. I don't know. I mean, I think I get it. Everyone's going to still be like, wow, Hurley just is a machine and they're going to just continue. I disagree. I think when you have a freak at center, the way that they had that huge dude at center last year, it was a great. I mean, it's a difference maker. It's kind of like with Zach Edey at Purdue. I think
Mhm.
you don't have that freak on your team that can be athletic and move and play the way he did. I think there's a chance there for the Blue Jays to take it.
I'll keep mine short and sweet. And I'm on Creighton with you. It's hard, obviously, look at the success of UConn, but there's always somebody that's bigger and better than you. And I think that UConn this year will meet their match. And I think that with the Big East, I think Creighton's going to actually be one of them teams to take them out. So, Trey, who you got in the Big East?
Well, no, like rhyme or reason necessarily. It's just kind of a gut feeling with this one. They're projected, let's see, 5th to finish in the Big East according to Blue Ribbon Yearbook. But I was looking, and they have no returning starters. In fact, they have one player returning from their top 7 scorers, but I think that's intentional. And I think that this team is going to finally start to get their coaches' guys there, and he's going to start to turn around the program and make it competitive, and then he's going to get a better job again, and that is the St. John's Red Storm.
Yep. I was going to say,
Patino
when you started to say that.
I think Patino's he's starting to get his guys there that he wants there instead of who he has to play with. And they did well even with guys that he didn't necessarily recruit 100%. So they have 0 returning starters. They have a great transfer portal of A10 players and other players that he even might have coached in the past too. I like St. John's Red Storm. I think Colt Brenner's great, Trent. I do think so, and he doesn't foul a lot, which is great. But he's one player, and he mainly scores 2 points every basket. So
Great analysis.
three is better than 2.
He can shoot the 3.
Yeah, no, he
And you
can't.
got you got little tiny. Hey, you got little tiny Ashworth shooting 3. So what
Yeah, a little tiny. Well, you just said he's little tiny. He's a little tiny Ashworth.
Yeah,
so.
but he can shoot, man.
Well, if he can shoot it over the big tall guys, not little tiny guys. So
little tiny.
All right. If you guys don't mind, I'd like to start this one. And this again, I know we just kind of talked about, hey, we'll look at the A10, some of these other teams, but I want to talk about a team in the A10 just because this was kind of along the lines of one team I followed last year. The team that's going to take the A10 this year. All right, it's tough to pick against my Duquesne Dukes, but I'm going to go with the St. Louis Billikens with their new head coach, Josh Schertz, who came from Indiana State. They have none other than Robbie Avila on their team this year. So, and he's only a junior.
That's crazy.
But I'm pretty excited. St. Louis Billikens. Yeah, he's back and better than ever. So that's my pick for the A10. That's a team that I'm probably gonna start to gamble on early just to kind of see what I can find. But I'm pretty excited about that. Robbie Avila and the Billikens take
there you
A10.
go. Blue Ribbon Yearbook. 2 years after laying a transformational player who's become a cult hero, the man of 1,000 nicknames, including Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Nerd, Larry Blurred, Milk Chamberlain, and Baby Jokic.
Baby Jokic.
You know what?
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was sitting there leaning towards it, but you know what? I just want to cheer it on with you. Let's place the future. Let's go, Billy.
Let's do it, St. Louis.
I'm right. I'm right. Hey, they also got Swope from Indiana State to transfer.
Yeah,
they do.
Dude,
right?
if you look at their roster, they got some good guys on their team.
Preseason 25th ranked team.
Are they really? Nah.
Yep. Yeah.
St. Louis is the preseason 2015 team.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Hold on. In the AP?
Yeah.
AP is Rutgers.
Hey, either way, they're close to being a top 25 team.
Maybe it's just a blue ribbon then. I'm not sure.
Maybe it must be because I'm on AP website right now and there's Rutgers. But maybe they're close. Heck yeah, man. That's freaking awesome. Get the boys going. But yeah, so any other trades? Three's a crowd on this? Are you also St. Louis?
Oh yeah. Yeah, for the A10.
Let's do it, man. It's awesome.
Tyler, I think if they win their conference or conference tournament, or let's just say they make the tournament, you have to live stream when we do our videos on that first day of the tournament. You have to have a pair of rec specs.
Okay, I can do that.
Boys,
I'm good with that.
March 21st. We're just gonna be waking up with what is it? A full slate of March Madness games to go.
Oh yeah.
Place a bunch of race to 10 bets, maybe sprinkle in a race to 5 if we're feeling frisky.
Be sweaty.
Yeah.
Little Trogs to start.
Yes.
It's a happy day.
I'm ready.
All right. Hey, any other teams? I mean, I'll just quickly rattle off some teams that I like to bet on quick. We don't have to talk about other leagues and stuff, but definitely keep an eye on Oakland. A team I'm keeping an eye on also McNeese State in the Southland Conference. Keeping an eye on my Tarleton State and Arlington. And I'm going to go back on trying to follow Oral Roberts. I'm seeing that Oral Roberts is supposed to be pretty good again in the Summit League. So,
Hey,
I have a couple teams.
I have to backtrack on something, fellas. I messed up myself. Florida transfer. Chris Youngblood was not the guy that I was talking about. He's a guard. It's Keyshawn Pryor. I forgot that.
Okay.
So just want to kind of correct that.
Because I was thinking that the whole time too.
Yeah, Keyshawn Pryor went to the Louisville, which I knew he transferred. I just forgot where. So just want to correct that. I apologize.
Okay. Trey, go ahead. Who would you say teams that you like to follow?
Lower tier teams that are going to be very good. Grand Canyon this year, leading scorers returning. Bradley from I want to say Missouri Valley. I think it might be. Bradley's a good team. Santa Clara is another team to watch out for in the WAC or West Coast Conference, I believe.
Okay.
So yeah, Grand Canyon, they were good last year. I think they're one top guard. The top guard's returning, and I believe another top forward is also returning. So
It's one of my favorite conferences to watch.
the WAC or the West Coast?
The WAC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
I like the WAC a lot.
I just love college basketball. Yeah.
I'm gonna name one team. I think Ty, you might have mentioned them or made a High Point. Watch out for High Point.
Yes.
They're supposed to be really good this year.
Yeah.
Hey,
And Trey, North Texas too, correct?
Yep. North Texas. Yep. They're going to be a decent school. So
You gotta let the first couple games go by.
Yep.
Gotta let the first couple games go by. You know, I mean, it doesn't mean I'm not going to wager them. Just might not make a recipe pick. But small conferences is where you can make your money in college basketball.
And
Seattle,
like you said, Trent, you gotta be patient. Like these first couple weeks, you have teams like Missouri playing High Point, and High Point's getting paid a lot of money to play these schools, and they're probably going to lose just based off of sheer recruiting ability, talent, or whatever. But give it some time. If they lose their first couple games, they don't cover. That's probably expected, and that as a team they know that. But yeah, just gotta be consistent. Follow stats and be diligent. Don't give up. Don't be an emotional bettor.
Anything else teams wise? I got one last thing that we'll kind of close out with, but I'd like to say thoughts and prayers with South Florida's basketball coach's family, Amir Abdur-Rahim, RIP.
Yeah.
So thoughts and prayers to his family and all the players that he's impacted over the years. Pretty sad situation, but I'd like to close with that. Everybody else, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your football weekend. And college basketball starts on
Monday.
Let's do it.
Hey.
All right.
Moneyline.go. Check it out.
That's right. Shout out moneyline.go.com. Appreciate you guys. Happy Halloween. Have a good weekend.
See you, fellas.